At their best, our jobs can let us contribute to something greater than ourselves. At their worst, they leave us feeling exhausted, unfulfilled, and unbalanced. I'm Michelle, a yoga teacher and coach at Find My Balance, and here is my story. Back in 2014, before I gave birth to my kids, I worked full-time in a computer-based communications job. And I wasn't happy. In fact, I was the most stressed I'd ever felt. I worked hard and the subject matter was interesting, but I felt stuck. Relationships with my coworkers were underwhelming. I struggled to get out of bed in the morning and often had to listen to a meditation to even be able to get up. What was wrong? I needed balance at work. I was sure of it. If I could just solve this problem, I would be fine. I would be good again. Fast forward to 2 weeks later. I was in a creative problem-solving class, a break from my everyday job. Our instructor had just asked us to write down our biggest problem on a piece of paper and then trade it with a partner who would help us whack its premise. I thought for a moment, and then I wrote down my biggest problem, which had been stressing me out the most, on a piece of paper. She began to read through some of her questions. "What is balance?" she read. "Are you balanced outside of work?" I responded, impressed. Those were two great questions I did not have the answer to. Perhaps that was why my original belief that I needed to find balance at work was so stressful. I didn't have the slightest idea what I was looking for, nor if I already had it elsewhere. For the rest of the week, I turned that question over in my mind. What is balance for me? What do I need more of? I thought about my personal life and I realized I didn't quite feel balanced there either. Then it hit me. Doing nothing. The realization just popped into my awareness. That's right. I crave time during the day to do nothing. To step away from my work, my phone, my computer, my meetings, and just find a lovely, ideally inspirational place to sit and do nothing. I wanted to give myself permission to purposefully step away from all of it and to let myself rest. Designating intentional periods to do nothing, I realized, was indeed how I felt the most balanced. I can recall struggling with my schedule ever since my college days, when I suddenly had agency over my daily schedule. I chose the classes I registered for, the part-time jobs I took on, the visits to the gym and the grocery store, the meal schedule, the extracurricular clubs, the socializing, and the partying. I wanted to do everything, and at some point I found myself staring at an agenda I had printed out and color-coded with everything I had to do, and realizing suddenly that I had built in absolutely no flex time for myself as a college student. I had become addicted to this feeling of being busy, of filling my schedule with activities and destinations, and I thought of purpose. But my first winter break back at my parents' house, I remember sitting on the couch with nothing to do and feeling a sense of overwhelming panic. I felt uneasy, I felt bored, and I said, I can't just sit here, I need to figure out something to do. I had forgotten just how to sit and how to be without jumping from one activity to the next. This discovery that I was suffering from being too busy, filling my life with too much, and not resting enough, all the way from my college days to my working days, made me re-examine how I spent my time and how I valued my time. Comment below if you're interested in receiving a free guide of my top 10 ways to rest from work. It covers everything from rediscovering your passions to asking the important questions to honoring your own energy. And if you're looking for more balance too, at home or at work, click on the link below to check out my balance-oriented yoga and meditation practice. Now, on to today's yoga and meditation to help you with work burnout.
Join me on the mat for a conscious break from work, a time to tune into your body and your breath. Start lying down, knees bent, feet flat on the floor, arms wide in a T position, and feet widened to the width of your mat. Starting with windshield wiper legs, drop your knees to one side, up to center, and then drop them to the other side, moving with your breath. Exhaling as you drop the knees to one side, inhaling as you return them to center. And then after returning your knees to center, we'll start with pelvic arches and tucks. This is a subtle movement in your lower back. Returning your arms to your sides, start by tilting your pelvis, flattening your lower back toward your mat, closing the gap that was there, and then rolling your pelvis forward, exaggerating the arch in your spine. Again, flattening your lower back, and then exaggerating the arch. Continuing this movement for the next few breaths. From here, we'll come into leg twists on both sides. So start by lengthening your left leg, hugging your right knee toward your chest. Using your right hand, guide your bent right knee out to the side. Breathing in, and as you exhale, cross that right leg over your body toward the ground. You can look out over your extended right arm. From here, bring the right knee back to the center, hugging it into your chest, and then switch positions. Right leg out long, left knee in toward the chest. Using your left hand, open your bent left leg out to the side. And then cross it all the way over your body. To come into a deeper twist, you can look out over your left arm, breathing into the pose. And then bringing your left knee back in toward center. We will transition into some small sit-ups. So returning your feet to the floor and crossing your hands under your head, elbows out to the side. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, lift into a small sit-up. Breathe in and breathe out. We'll do 8 more crunches, moving with the breath, lifting as we exhale and lowering as we inhale. Now return your head to the mat and arms long at your side. And then roll your head from side to side, starting to loosen up your neck. From here, bring your fingertips to your scalp and give yourself a head massage. Massage the top of your head, the sides, the back, the forehead, and even the jaw. Massage and relax that whole area, which tends to accumulate stress during the workday. Rolling onto your right side, let your head be heavy as you press yourself up. We'll move into table position on our hands and knees. From here, we'll practice cat and cow dynamically. Looking up, let your belly drop into cow pose, and then round through your back into cat pose. Dropping your belly and then returning to cow, and then rounding your back up into cat. Preparing to move into side C stretches. Return your back to neutral, and then look over your right shoulder toward your right hip, making a C shape with your body. You should feel a long stretch along your opposite side. Come back to center and then look over your opposite shoulder toward your hip, feeling the stretch on the other side. And then we'll do each side once more. Coming back to center, stretch your right leg out long, and then cross it over your body toward the left. Look over your left shoulder to feel a stretch along the length of your side and your hip. Breathing through the pose and then coming back to center. This time, stretch your left leg out long. Cross it along your body toward the right side. Look over your shoulder and feel a stretch down your left side. And moving back to center. Come up into downward facing dog, pressing into your toes, reaching your hips up toward the sky, keeping a slight bend in your knees, and then alternate bending one knee and then the other to loosen up the muscles in your legs. Now reach your right leg up toward the sky and bring the shin all the way forward, placing it parallel with the top of the mat, laying it between your legs. Now lower down carefully, coming into pigeon pose, and leaning down over your leg until you can feel that stretch along your hip. You can stay here, propped up, or you can lower down further to your hands or to the floor. Take 8 breaths here. And then pressing back up carefully. Turn your toes under on your left foot and press back into downward dog once more. Extend back, bringing your heels closer to the floor. And now reach your left leg up and back. Bringing that left leg forward, again, lay your leg down on the floor, shin parallel with the edge of your mat, coming into pigeon on the other side. Moving gently into the stretch, you can lower your upper body down more if you like. We're zoning in on the side body for this yoga practice, which focuses on countering burnout and finding balance while at work. And a lot of our modern day work involves sitting throughout the day. So this class is about elongating the side body, the hip flexors, the ribs, the big leg and glute muscles, and the areas that become compressed during the day. From here, we'll move into a side plank series. So pressing up onto your side, start by propping yourself up on one elbow, legs out long. Just this first step can feel like a really great stretch along your hip flexors and side. Relax your shoulders and hold yourself there for a few breaths. From here, come up onto your knee and stretch your top leg out long. This is the modified version of side plank. You can reach your hand up toward the sky, arm long. Your body might shake a bit, and that's okay. From here, carefully lower back down. You have the option of coming into full plank. Press those feet into the ground and press up onto your arm, reaching the opposite hand up toward the sky. Now we'll practice side plank on the other side by simply moving to the other side of your mat. Starting first by coming up onto your elbow so you can feel that gentle stretch along your ribs and hip. From here, we'll come up into modified side plank, bending your lower knee with the top leg extended, resting on the side of your foot. And coming back down to rest on your hip. Finally, move into full side plank by propping yourself up on your elbow, abdominals tight, reaching out and up. We'll start a flow series right now. Start by coming up to stand in mountain pose. Root down through your feet. Lengthen your spine. Roll your shoulders up and back. Tuck your pelvis under. Breathe. We'll start by inhaling, raising our arms up to the sky. Exhale into forward fold, knees soft, head and shoulders loose. Straighten your legs, press into your upper thighs, coming up into a half lift, and then exhale, hands coming back to the ground. Step your right foot back to low lunge. Lower the back knee, and then lift the chest and arms. Breathe. Inhale as you move up into crescent lunge by pressing strongly into your legs to lift up and reaching your arms high. From here, exhale into Warrior Two, opening your hips and your arms wide, gazing out over your front fingertips. Inhale as you come into Reverse Warrior, reaching your front arm up and behind you, feeling the stretch through your side. And then from here, come into humble warrior, keeping your hips where they are. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Inhale to stretch and open your chest, and then exhale as you fold down along your front thigh, arms overhead. Hold for 3 to 5 breaths, staying strong in your legs. From here, inhale, spinning your toes, rising back to warrior 1. Exhale and open back into warrior 2. Inhale, extended side angle. Drop the forearm to your front thigh and raise your top arm along your ear, feeling the stretch down to your hip. Inhale, return to warrior 2. Exhale, and then cartwheel your hands back down to the mat, coming into low lunge. From here, step back into plank pose. Lower down to chaturanga, and then lift up into cobra. From cobra, flip your toes and return back to downward facing dog. Hold for a few breaths. This time, reach your right foot up and then step it forward between your arms. Bring the second foot forward and then rise back up to mountain pose. We'll complete the same series on the opposite side, starting with low lunge. Arms up and then fold forward over soft knees. Rise up to press your hands into your thighs. Exhale, lower back down. This time, step your left foot back to begin your low lunge. Arms raised high. Let's move into crescent lunge, lifting your back knee, arms straight up, legs strong. And exhale, warrior 2, lifting your arms out to your sides. Coming into reverse warrior, lifting your front arm up behind your head. And then moving into humble warrior, interlace your fingers behind your back. Inhale to spread your chest open, and then exhale to fold inside your front thigh, arms overhead. Inhale and rise back up to warrior 1, arms up. Exhale, opening your arms wide into warrior 2. Inhale, extended side angle, dropping your arm onto your thigh and reaching your opposite arm along your ear. Inhale, return to warrior 2. Exhale, cartwheel back down to the mat into low lunge. Step back into plank and then lower to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale back into child's pose. Press yourself up and we'll transition to legs up the wall. If you don't have a wall nearby, you can simply lie on your back and lift your legs up high. If you will be practicing against the wall, I suggest that you move your body as close to the wall as possible. Adjust your hips tight against the wall so that you can stretch your legs straight up. And then release and relax here for the next couple of minutes. And then, when you're ready, make your way back to your mat to prepare for final resting pose, Shavasana. Stretching out long along your mat, wiggling your shoulders down away from your ears, and letting your feet fall to the sides. Your hands drop open naturally. Giving yourself time to rest, we'll move into a meditation. Let your breathing be easy, natural. Notice the light sensation of air through your nostrils. Release any effort to be in charge, to control. Now is a time of nurturing, of being safe within yourself. Take yourself to your favorite place. Choose this specific place because of the comfort and inspiration it holds for you. The weather is perfect. The scent in the air stirs up happy memories of feeling settled and purposeful. Visualize the space around you, the colors and details. Breathe in the happiness of this place and feel it settle into your heart space. Each inhale draws in peace and contentment from this place that brings you joy. Now, imagine yourself with your favorite person. Maybe this is your own child, a mentor or grandparent who already passed away, a dear best friend or partner who always understands you. Gaze into their eyes and remember your best moments with them. Know that they are there for you. They care for and comfort you even if they have passed on physically. Breathe in the joy of your surroundings into your heart. And as you breathe out, elevate and share this love with the dear one at your side, feeling the positivity roll from the space between your eyebrows, even stronger and purer than it was when it first entered you. With each breath, breathe in new contentment. With each exhale, send a soft beam of love and understanding to your dear one. And now, with your dear one still at your side, holding your hand, notice some friends and neighbors you haven't seen in a while walking nearby in your special space. As you breathe out, send the swelling energy out to them as well. With every breath in and out, you feel yourself light, buoyant, as if there is no end to the love and joy that can enter you here, and that you can pass on to others. You notice some birds soaring high overhead, and you send the love out through your forehead to them as well. In your favorite space, you have nothing to do, nowhere to be, just to accept the love around you and to pass it on in each moment, growing lighter and lighter with each breath. You notice down the street someone from your work with whom you've been having trouble, maybe a disagreement or a strained relationship. You catch sight of them looking down, looking a bit alone and lost. As you squeeze the hand of your loved one, you easily expand the direction of the love you are sending to include your work colleague too. For a moment, you drop the memories of confusion or resentment, anxiety or fear that used to crop up while you worked with them. For now, you continue to accept the love of your special place, and you include them when you return the love to the people and the animals now all around you. Your colleague's face relaxes visibly, and the stress drops from their shoulders, a mirror of your own. They glance at you with a reassuring smile, and then turn to walk away and continue on with their day. Your neighbors and friends turn to wave at you as well, inclining their heads in thanks. The birds alight on a nearby branch to rest, leaning their heads together. You squeeze your loved one gently toward your heart in a big hug, feeling as if you might overflow with the goodness of all that surrounds you. They promise to stay with you, to remain inside your heart as a steady presence and a reminder of all the deep rest and joy you deserve and all the love you have to give. Begin to deepen your breathing. Gently move your toes and fingers, rolling your wrists and ankles. Stretch and wiggle naturally, as if awakening from a deep sleep. Take your time, carefully roll to one side. And keeping your head heavy, move back into your favorite seated position. Bring your hands to your heart in prayer pose. May you be happy and well, both at work and in the rest of your life. Namaste.